Okay, today we're here at Kifaru and we're going to be demonstrating Kifaru Stoves. These are stainless steel stoves, backpackable. Original Kifaru idea. It was Patrick Smith that designed the first backpackable foldable stove and keeping it lightweight. We got a lot of neat features in here that are proprietary to Kifaru, and we just kind of want to go through it and show you guys how to assemble this thing and use it to its maximum effectiveness. So working here with a large stove for an 8-man. This is kind of the exterior pouch that it comes into. Really nice. We got a handle here. What I do with my stoves, I just kind of drop them right down into the pack up against the stays, and I just fill up around it. Kind of keeps the weight where it needs to be, center of gravity wise. This is a Parrot stove. It's one of our smallest stoves. We just did this kind of for reference, kind of show you what it's supposed to look like assembled, and the chimney and the warming tray. So let's get into this. So laying down the pouch here, we just open it up. Okay, and we have everything we need in a really organized way. This is what I love about it. Everything is very organized, easy to get to, and streamlined, which is really nice when you're backpacking it in. Let's talk about the chimney first. So due to the kind of the constraints of the size of the table, you can see this chimney is rolled up. Okay, we're looking at about a little over 12 inches here, all rolled up nice and neat. What's nice about this is you unroll it, and it goes out to about 104 inches of length, and once it's laid out, you actually roll it from the opposite side to make your chimney. Maybe I can kind of show you with this a little bit. What's nice is the stove comes with these little stainless steel wire holders here, keep the chimney together. I'm going to kind of do this to give you guys the concept of how the chimney works. So we got a little wing nut and bolt here that kind of holds the top of the chimney together. Okay, once you pull the bolt out, it's kind of like rolling up a piece of paper. You just got to be careful, there's some sharp edges. But basically this is how the chimney would be. You roll it up this direction. And this is super slick. Okay, so you can see we've got it rolled up in the pouch. Okay, you take it out, undo that clamp, basically unroll your chimney, and it's going to unroll out, 104 inches. Once it's laid out like this, you're going to kind of take it in from the other side, start rolling it in the opposite direction, so you can get the actual height that you need for your chimney. Okay, once you got it tight, you obviously want to go tighter than what your chimney stays diameter are. Kind of slip them over and then just kind of let the chimney expand. And as you move these things up and down, you can kind of stabilize the chimney. Okay? That's how the chimney kind of goes together, and then it slips right over onto the stove. All right, let's take a look at some of the other components. Coming out here, real organized. We got 4 legs for the stove, and you can kind of see right here how they integrate into the stove design here, and we'll get into that in a minute. Okay, I'm going to open up the main pouch. It's kind of holding everything nice and neat together. There's a couple portions of this. So, if you look, this is how it's going to show up at your front door when you guys order this thing. All nicely packaged, nice and clean, rubber banded together. Okay, let's look at the different components here of the stove. This is the front section and the door, obviously. Really great. Neat design. Patrick designed a dampering system here to basically open up to allow the stove to draw or burn hotter or faster. Got a little door latch right here as well. Just latches over. We'll show you as we get it assembled here. A little wire to keep your hands from getting burned. So this is the door, or the front part of the stove. Okay, same size, but this is going to be the rear of the stove. You can kind of see these little breaks in the metal here, so we'll show you how those all fit together, little grooves here. Okay, this is the top of the stove, and it should be pretty obvious that we got a little chimney hole here, so that needs to be the top. And once we get it assembled, you see how it goes. That chimney will actually be towards the rear. And as you guys are putting this into your tent, make sure you're kind of lining this up where you want it to go, so everybody can kind of move around the tent and not bump the stove, and make sure your chimney hole is lined up with the hole in the tent. Okay, this is the chimney collar. We'll get into that in a little bit. Just got to kind of put it together. We'll show you how it goes together to attach the chimney to the stove. You're going to have 2 sides. This is going to be the left side where the front connects. Obviously it has the door latch right here. Okay, the door latch is going to go right there, so make sure you guys are putting it together. Just kind of take your time, and there's instructions in here as well. Okay, so left side. We got a right side. You can see the grooves that are in place to allow for a warming tray, which is another option you can purchase with the stove. And we got the base, or the bottom. All right, so let's go ahead and get this stove together here. What I like to do is I kind of like to build, and there's a lot of different ways you guys can do this. What I like to do is build the walls first. So I start with the back piece. You can see I got a deep groove right here, looking in there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of place it towards the wall and just press it in. Okay, you want to press these in nice and tight. And you want to make sure they line up. You want to make sure they're flush and they line up nice and even. Okay, and it takes a little bit of time. You just got to kind of press them in from the back. Okay, place the front piece in, lock it behind the brakes that are made in the metal. Just push it into the grooves. Okay, make sure they're nice and seated. It's going to take a little effort. Okay, it's real important. You want to make sure this thing is nice and tight when it's going together. Now that we got the sides assembled and inside the base, it's time to put the top on. Now when you're putting the top on, make sure the chimney hole's to the back. Okay, if the chimney hole's up front, the stove isn't going to draw. Okay, so we're going to set the top of the stove on. So make sure you put the top on, make sure it's outside the edges of the wall, and we're going to take our legs. Now, earlier I actually prepped the legs. I took the cap screws off of them, off the tops, and I'll show you why. I took the cap screws off, and I lowered the wing nuts a little bit because I'm going to come in through the bottom, and I want to make sure I have enough all thread coming through the top so I can get these cap screws started. So bring the lid back on, come in through the bottom, line up the leg with the first hole, and once you get the first hole going, it just starts to hold itself together. So I'm going to put that cap screw on. Now what you want to do is you want to put that cap screw on until the bottom's out. Okay, it's tight. Now what I'm going to do is pull it through so I can start holding the stove together. Okay, once I've pulled it tight, I'm going to tighten the wing nut. And I'm not going to go super tight. I just want to snug it up so it starts holding the stove together. You want to make sure everything starts to line up right. Come through the bottom one last time. Get that last cap screw. Push it flush. Zip up that wing nut. Nice and snug. I'm going to turn this upside down. Okay? That's pushing on those cap screws for me so I get them bottomed out all the way. Reach underneath, hold them in place, and then just tighten down these wing nuts. Now, when you tighten the wing nuts down, you don't want to go too tight. You just want to snug it up. Okay. So that's what it looks like when you assemble the stove box. Really nice stuff here. Patrick's designed some ridges inside the top part so you can actually set pots and pans on here with full water. And you can boil water on here or cook on here. Really strong top. It can handle some pretty heavyweight pots. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with a bolt and a wing nut. We're going to assemble the chimney collar. You can see we got a hole right here and we got a groove right here. Alright, best thing to do is take your bolt, push it through the hole so it's sticking out. And then what you want to do is you want to grab that groove and place it over that bolt. And get your wing nut on there. Now obviously there's a groove there so we can adjust the overall diameter of the chimney collar. Okay, we need to size it here. Make sure it slips right into here. Now when setting this, what you want to do is make sure your grooves in the chimney collar are facing this side, because that's where these screens are going to go in. We're going to slip these screens in, and you want them out of the way. You don't want them anywhere near your cooking surface. So slip the screens in, okay? That's how your chimney collar goes together. Now obviously I kind of showed you a smaller version of the chimney and how it goes together. You're going to roll your chimney up, and you're going to slip your chimney right over the chimney collar once you get all your chimney wire stays that hold the chimney together on. You're going to slip it right through your tent, and then you're going to set it down on top of your collar. If you guys have any questions, obviously check our message boards, and there's instructions inside the pouch as well. We appreciate your time, and this is the original Kifaru backpackable stove.